Teams at this stage.
Thompson 8 possessions, Sloan and Dangerfield 7 apiece. And for the Saints, Hayes has 8, Montagna 8, Del Santo 8. So the midfielders all getting plenty of the football. Down goes McKay, tackled by Montagna, and the umpire will ball it up again. So the margin 14 points, Adelaide's way. Perfect night for football, Friday night football from Adelaide. Well done by Hayes. McAvoy goes back. Montagna comes across the ground. Milne, they need a spark from him. Feeds it forward. Untidy hand pass over the head of Gilbert. Chopped off by Thompson. Releases the run of Martin. Touched. Sloan extricates himself brilliantly. Callanan swings it out wide. Doughty has to wait. Slips it back. Martin confronted. Goes back to Doughty. Nice little 1-2. Martin short, very short. Oh, Porplecia like a slips catch.
It's courageous play by Martin before. Brought the ball back inside to Sloan earlier on. Stayed involved and then backed himself. That's a really talented kick. We just watch it here. Gets on his preferred side and just drops in. I mean, the mark itself is outstanding. But to back his leg and have a real crack at it was really terrific stuff.
So Jason Porplecia, just 8 goals for the season. His career year came in 09 with 57. His best effort against the Saints in that same season, 3 in round 2. Such a talented player. 45 metres out. That is a beautiful kick. That is the kick of a talented player. Splits the middle.
He's had so many problems with his shoulder, Porplecia. He actually admitted this year that he would find it hard to have full confidence in getting through the rigours of AFL footy, but gee, I've liked what I've seen tonight from Porplecia so far. He's been important in the link-up. He's playing a bit more in the midfield this season with Callanan forward and obviously Walker and Tippett.
Nice one to have in the wings, I'd suggest, Bruce.
See Brendan Goddard on screen. It's been a fascinating matchup so far with Riley. In fact, Riley just rolled deeper into the Adelaide defence, but Brendan Goddard really positioning himself wherever he wants to go at the moment, setting up for the Saints.
Looking at the Adelaide forward line, they've been able to get Petrenko to play that defensive forward role on Fisher. Somehow Fisher's ended up on him, and I think that's exactly what the Crows want, because Petrenko does that defensive forward role very well.
Gee, Jacobs is giving Thompson a first-class ride, and what a good mark. Speaking of Petrenko, Lee, that was a terrific mark by the little guy. And a powerful leg to fall forward. Tippett being held on to, and he's monstering them, isn't he? Blake wants to go back in the ruck, I think.
He's playing to his strengths, Tippett, where he's leaping at the footy. He's actually just disengaging. I mean, what Blake wants to do is push against him, because as soon as he actually just reaches for the footy, as he is able to do there when he disengaged from the contact, he's just too tall.
Well, he's kicked 4 goals, Tippett, twice this year. That's his best haul. We talked about his ability to score goals early. Remarkably, 18 of his 23 goals in the first half this season. 13 first quarter goals, more than any other player in the competition. Now, he missed the first, and then the last 3 have been fantastic, and that one's a miss, obviously. So he's 3 out of 5 tonight.
Big challenge for Jason Blake now. He spent obviously a significant amount of time recently in the ruck, but now he's required, St Kilda require him to do a key defensive job on the informed player in the of the night in Kurt Tippett, so really needs to stand up and play a key role.
As well, I would imagine that Scotty Waters and his assistants will be looking at plan B, whatever that might be. No pun intended. As the ball comes back towards the middle, Jacobs tried to help it on its way. McAvoy knocked it down. McKay, Dangerfield, Jensch. Clever by Jensch. The hand pass not so flash. Well done by McKay. Well done by Sipos. Now an opportunity for Jones. Sweeping hand pass forward. Taken by Milne. Goes to Schneider. Schneider over the top. It sits for Kazitsky. Needs to align himself at the goal. Does. And kicks it behind.
That's the classic case of the poor handball. I mean, he probably should have kicked the goal anyway, but the Schneider handball didn't go where he needed to go, just to allow him to run into the centre corridor and have just an even easier shot than he eventually was able to summons.
The irony of all that is that because he's kicked 19 goals, 3 before tonight, he's been so accurate in the set shots And just 3 misses from 22, but that was a big blow. Shaw's long ball, and good mark taken by Fisher. Petrenko just couldn't match him for size or weight there. Clark, nice kick, well weighted. Armitage. So the Saints just building now, and Armitage bouncing the ball forward. Poor kick. Riley had to get it out in a hurry. Talia, Thompson, prolific Thompson, isn't he? Shaw, just his 3rd game. Shaw, he looks good, doesn't he? Jenkins, good fly. Jones with him. Fisher. Little handball was clever by Fisher. Back to Jones. Jones working it back to Armitage's left footer. Another left footer, and Del Santo going forward. And Riley just cuts it off.
Riley then finds a way through. Goes to the opposite pocket. Going back, it's missed by McKay. Sloan needs his help now. Knew where the help was located. Across to McKay, who got to his feet in the nick of time. Petrenko, unkind bounce taken by Tippett. His stocks are high, but the hand pass also was pretty high over the head of Petrenko, so it'll be tossed in. Scott Waters, who played for the West Coast Eagles, Sydney and Fremantle. Very pensive, as is Bretton Sanderson. He had a few clubs too. Stephen drives the Saints forward inside the forward 50. Talia goes back. Not hard enough. Oh. Milne almost dragged it back across the line. Shaw brings it in quickly. Drives outside the 50. McAvoy punches it back inside. Sipos knocked it down. Taken by Thompson. Got it forward to Jenkins. Last time we saw him, he was very good.
Just watching Sloan in this first half, he's very much like Selwood. He's impossible to tackle. He gets down low and breaks so many tackles. Yet the 2 coaches, Dennis, have been involved in 7 clubs between them, 3 each as players, and Scotty didn't play for the Saints. Brendan, of course, played for the Crows. So the Saints now having a bit of the ball in the last 5 minutes. Can they get a goal? Revolt, front spot, good grab, good mark.
Yeah. He's been good, Taylor. He's been right with him every time. He can't establish the gap between Talia with his leg speed, but just that full extension mark from the front position is copyable.
Well, he's had a fantastic season as the captain. 31 goals. Remember, he kicked 36 last year and 39 the year before, so he's almost there at the halfway mark. And he and Cozzy have missed a couple in this quarter that could come back to bite.
Need to capitalise now, the Saints. They've certainly got the run of play the last couple of minutes. They've had repeat inside 50s. Had 2 relatively simple shots on goal. Just need to get the scoreboard impact now.
So Jensch, who's a long kick, picks it to himself, runs 15 metres and drives it towards the outer side wing. Up goes Blake, got a fist to it, falls obligingly for Douglas in full stride. Goes down towards half forward, and Callanan, the little man from Centrals, is away. Sends it down towards full forward. Poor Pleasure. Well, he would have got a free kick, I'm sure. As it is, he's marked 15 metres out, got a whack on the side of the scone. Dempster always out of position. Well, one wonders why Blake was where he was. I would imagine Tippett pushed up the ground, because I think from the last kick in, Tippett got the ball on the outer side wing. So Blake was a long way up the ground, but it was a very open forward line when Douglas won the ball as he stormed past. So poor Pleasure for his 2nd goal of the night, and he gets it. St Kilda in trouble. 46 plays 22. Well, talking about Porplecia waiting in the wings, Bruce, tonight might be the night he's going to step out and get into that spotlight.
Yeah, he looks a good nick, doesn't he? I mean, that little pass early to Tippett was a beauty. Good mark. He's had 6 kicks. He's a dangerous player.
It's terrific to see guys who have really battled injury, and you know how good they were, to one day get it back. And suddenly, if he can take that trip, fantastic upside for Adelaide.
And just from behind the goals here, we see 3 ways to score: kick-ins, clearances and turnovers. And St Kilda had the run of the play there for about 4 or 5 minutes. A kick in and just takes the confidence out. Fantastic result for the Crows.
So Tippett working it forward to Thompson, to Graham, now Gilbert. So he released him on his natural left foot. And that kick to Sipos. Shaw has had a good match so far. Revolt back to Sipos. I think he threw it away. Good hands by Riley to Shaw to Thompson, who took Hayes on and then has to go back. Riley just so confident. And a lovely kick to Thompson, and Adelaide opening up. Not a great handball by Thompson, but well done by McKay. Petrenko, neat looking kick. Douglas does not break stride. But he, well, called to play on. And then Jacobs kicking to fall forward. Jenkins and Callanan, he probably should have left it for Callanan, I think. He was going in the right direction. Well, Callanan whips away from them, and Porplycia goes bang. And for the first time this year, he's got a hat-trick. 3 for Porps.
Well, we're talking about Porplycia back in town.
Dennis, how good was Callanan there?
Fantastic. He's a good little player, Callanan. What is he, 28? Well, he debuted at 28. He might be older.
He's 29, but no, Porps is in a bit of nick, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, great to see. Nothing better than good players playing well.
This is really the finish of it, and good goal by Porplycia. But really, it started in the centre square when Thompson, just with a little bit of space, got the ball into the clearance, and they're moving the ball really quickly forward, the Crows, which is working great dividends for them.
Milne coming up the line of the square. Hand pass came out to Del Santo from Hayes to Montagna. The old firm. Ball bounces down towards half forward. Here's a chance for Del Santo. Long towards goal. And he's got it. And to say they needed that is something of an understatement.
Del Santo was one of the stars in that mauling of the Crows last year. He and Goddard got votes along with Milne. Good kick by Del Santo off, really a step and a half, wasn't it? So that's what the Saints have got to do. They've got to really take advantage of inside 50s. Terrific finish, and they sort of keep in touch in a way, don't they? It's a long way back.
Here's some footage after the last Crows goal there. So the feign punch from Clark and then the headbutt also. So that'll get looked at, I'm sure.
So Jacobs just doing so well. Douglas was touched off the boot. Fisher holding up. Sweeps a handball. Walker tries to take on McAvoy. Well done, Gilbert. He ran through a couple, and then Dangerfield just whips it off him.
Strong, isn't he?
He is. Kicks the ball inside the 50. Jenkins waiting for the bounce. Tippett, that ball coming now. Fisher's in trouble. Well,
he got it out. I mean, we mentioned almost the first look of the game that both sides know they have to move the ball quickly if they've got any chance of scoring. So we saw a really attractive, free-flowing game is resulting.
So Blake, the third man up. Quick kick by Graham. Oh, Yench could have maybe given a free kick away. Douglas, Hayes, Montagna wanting Malira to run, so he goes back now to Stephen. No one really to kick it to. An important ball, this one way or the other. And I think it might be a ball up. Saints were starting to stream forward. Adelaide knew if they could get the turnover that St Kilda would be caught with their pants down. So that was a big ball, and in the end it finished all square.
So bounce on the outer side then. McAvoy will ruck against Taylor Walker. Montagna, after the ruck work was inconclusive, boots it inside the forward 50. Brodie Martin's been good. Feeds it back. Riley all the way back. Downey off his step. Comes out wide to Mr. Reliable, Ben Rutten. Porplycia. His tail is up. 3 goals. Alongside Tippett with 3. Van Berlo, the skipper.
Stay out, James. Stay out.
Looking down towards half forward. Takes something off this kick. Intended for Jenkins. The judgment almost the mark. Arriving quickly, Callanan. And the ball spills out of bounds.
He gets the good crumbing spot so often, Callahan. It's real timing and judgment, actually, just to work it off the contest, and he does that really well.
Made his early football in Tasmania. 4 premierships at Central since the ball goes down towards full forward yet again for Adelaide. Picked up by Dempster running out of space. The man we were talking about, Callanan, right in his hip pocket. He's not happy he didn't get a free.
He gets to the right places, Cullinan, doesn't he? The right spots. So Adelaide on top and pushing hard. Good tap by Blake. Fisher can't get a clear kick away. Ball coming out. Douglas wanted to give it to Dangerfield. He's a bit close. Dangerfield brilliantly through. And a little give back to McKay. Usually skillful McKay. Tippett's a chance. Well done coming across Clark. Petrenko trying to take them on. Schneider back. So the Saints rear guard stuff. They've got to hang on at the moment. Jones to Armitage. Sloan was a good tackle. Back to Riley. Now he's a long kick, Riley. Martin is having a good night. And that's not a great kick off a step, and Dempster will take the mark in the back pocket.
We're seeing a really physical Crow side at the moment. So many instances so far where they run through and try to break the tackle, really force through with brute strength, paying dividends at the moment.
And probably, Thompson, Dangerfield and Sloan are the three, aren't they, that do that so well.
Kaczynski on the outer side. Milne flicks it over the top. Not the man you'd want with the footy. McAvoy, although that was tidy. Now they work it forward. Graham's got it.
Good kick.
Got it from Schneider, and that's a beautiful kick. Question of accuracy. Montagna pops it through, keeps them in touch. Well worked by the Saints, end-to-end stuff. They bring up their 5th goal, so the margin just at 18 points, and I'm not sure Adelaide would be all that happy with that, simply because their dominance has almost been total. Just get the feeling that St Kilda are clinging on and barely. But a couple of easy goals against the flow means it's 52-34.
Just indicative of the way both teams are trying to move the footy. They get towards the middle of the ground, you go in deep. It's really the defensive press up that most sides are going to employ, but getting over the top, both teams tonight.
So Adelaide doing well in contested possessions, clearances, but the inside 50s are about equal, and Montagna's goal keeps the Saints very, very much in this. Dal Santo running hard with Shaw. Well done, Dal Santo. Sipos has been quiet. Back to Dal Santo. Released him on the right side for him, the left footer. Kaczynski worked off it by Talia. On the up was good stuff. That was Thompson. Coming out, Doughty, Petrenko. Now Milne down low. Good hands, Montagna. Kaczynski, Goddard. He'll go all the way, Goddard. Off a step, but missing.
Goddard's going into the back half now for St Kilda. Petrenko's gone to him, so that's a potential to release Sam Fisher running off half back for the Saints, which would be a very, very beneficial attacking weapon for them.
So Goddard, Montagna and Dal Santo, 3 of the goal kickers tonight for the Saints. Important players, midfielders, sweepers. So St Kilda having a good few minutes just now.
That would have been big had he kicked that. Thompson, so much of the football, what's new, kicks it towards the outer side. Jones over it. Martin there with him. Sam Fisher running out of space, just carries it across the line.
He's gradually become an elite midfielder for a long time, Thompson, but yeah, he's just one of those players who just keeps finding the footy because he just keeps going where the ball is. He just keeps involving himself in the play.
Armitage, a left footer, sends it down towards the goal line. Just moments before, another left footer on the cover of the record. Mary Cable, a legend during the week. Remarkable record out of Western Australia. Won 3 Sandover medals. He was runner-up in 3 by a total of 3 votes. Coming away, you worked that out. Yeah. Kick goes towards the outer side from Thompson. I didn't mean you work it out, Bruce. You were all over it. Took me a while to work it out, though. Mark is taken out there by Van Berlo. Thompson drives it down towards half forward. Tippett works in front, almost the grab too. Blake off his step, slips it away. Wilt comes across the ground. Malira now breaking hard for him is Milne. Kick goes in that direction. Awkward time for the defender. How is that for athleticism? Doughty goes over the top. Handstand, the boot. Ball goes out of bounds.
Saw Rolly, Tom, you put him in your back group for All Australian. That's how impressed you've been with him this year.
Yeah, he's played some really, really important roles as a lockdown defender, but just importantly wins his own ball, makes really sound decisions, and his marking's improved out of sight this year.
Thompson threw that out, then Dal Santo to Goddard, to Armitage, looked up. Sipos, pretty good kick, Sipos, and from 50 metres he's drilled it home, and St Kilda are closing. It's been a good 5 minutes for them.
He can kick the ball, young Sipos. He's a good kick.
Gee, Adelaide are getting opened up, aren't they? They are really getting opened up now when St Kilda get the ball forward.
They're playing with a lot of flair, bringing it out. They're really tossing it around, having a lot of handballs in their defensive 50, and there's always a margin of error there. Still, that's, I think, bred into them now. Back themselves in. But St Kilda will go to half-time if this scoreline stands up. Very content.
Just good clearance. Really nice soft hands by the prime movers in Del Santo and Goddard, and Sipos a fantastic kick for a young player. The Saints being really efficient going forward inside their forward 50 in these last 5 minutes.
Rucks go at it. Kazitsky backhands it down. Thompson again in quickly. Malera came over the top, and that ball's not coming out. Sloan hasn't had a possession for the last 12 minutes in this one. So some credit there to Jones, Clinton Jones. He's tightened up. He's been playing on him. Came off the ground when he came off, came back when he came back on, and really, since they came on as a pair, he's done very well. Dangerfield. Ooh, cop that. Friendly fire. Van Berlo straight into Jacobs. Malera kicks inside the forward 50, and it's going to be a free kick to Steve Milne. Just talking about Clint Jones, I mean, up until about 3 weeks ago, he was like a Big Bertha head cover, just covering the best players in the competition with alacrity, but then ran into Cochin and Delidio in round 10, and they took him apart. And Sloan started that way tonight, but he's come back strongly. And Milne, who loves to kick a goal, loves the big occasion. Two of his loves right here. Ooh. Hangs it out to the right. Still, it's down the right end, but they've missed a couple that would have even improved the situation still more.
It's probably his one weakness, is kicking for goal when he's going straight at the goal from a set shot.
Yeah, he wants to run across his body. Much more comfortable at that, isn't he?
Gee, the Saints have missed a couple, haven't they? I mean, Revolt, Kazitsky and Milne. 3, in fact, that they could have been in front here at half-time. It's been a fascinating game. Good kick forward by Jench. There is Sloan. Armitage couldn't quite. Jacobs dominant for much of the night. Martin's been good. Back to Jacobs. McKay, Van Berlo, Dangerfield so good at breaking the line. Kicking to Tippett. McAvoy back there with him, interestingly. Tippett's give good. Porplycia's played very, very well. That's a good kick to Callanan. Oh, he's a good player.
That's a good player. He's matched up against Goddard. Now, maybe Goddard's the defender and he's not sure whether to cover the goals, to cover Callahan, but he just read the ball so much better in the air.
Oh. He's played on, and the Crows get the goal. It's Wright's goal.
So, what was going on the mark? There was a conversation between Walker, who was in the year of Goddard. Goddard got very immersed in the conversation, and the Crows just played on. Were you watching that? Did you see that?
Not really, but I do wonder why you wouldn't have a set shot from 20 metres out anyway.
Well, if you see the bloke sort of at Speaker's corner on the mark, you probably take off. That was quite bizarre.
Here's the communication here, Goddard and Walker. Walker's just having a good old-fashioned chin wag. Goddard's getting involved, not really concentrating on the mark, and Scotty Waters wouldn't be too happy. At least make them go back over the mark and have a set shot than to give away like that.
And so the Crows get a little bit of breathing space again. Callanan brilliant. Good tackle by Petrenko and Schneider. I think Schneider's genuine attempt was to knock Petrenko's head off as well as get the ball out. He's a feisty customer. They've missed him, Schneider. He'll be an important player for the Saints in the second half of this season. McAvoy. Gee, Martin has been very, very good. Don't think he's played a better half for the Crows. Well done by Clark. And here is Callanan on the left, and not quite. Or has he?
Yes.
He has.
Yes.
Of course he did. It was Callanan.
As Levy made the comment that just gets to the right spots at the right time, and if you want to be a small coming forward, have a look at this play. Get the ball long out of the clearance, works to the front of the contest, right there, comes in on the side, perfect.
He's so balanced, Tom.
Yep.
It was a great kick. What a finish. I mean, he's a unique player. You know, 28 years of age, made his debut. 29 years of age. He had terrible injuries last year. It'd be enough to just about kill you off. And here he is And such a valuable member of the Crows team.
They're out there, Bruce. You've got to say they're out there. Comes more and more. Inclined to take the risk, and that's terrific. Out of the middle, the Saints work it forward. Sipos slips it away. Lenny Hayes has got it. 65 metres out. Just kicks inside the forward 50. He was under pressure. That affected the kick. Getting back Shaw. Chips it near the wing. Fisted away by Goddard and out of bounds.
The other point about that, Dennis, there's now 18 teams. There's a lot of places for senior footballers, and there's just not that many really good kids who can take them. Some of those second chances, mature players.
Yeah, and I think they covet those chances too, a little more than some of the players who think it's their God-given ability. We've got this bounce and right to just be picked in the draft at 17 and 18. Scotty having plenty to think about. They got right back in it. They're still not done for by any stretch of the imagination, but suddenly they're down by 21 points. Petrenko, McKay towards half forward. Coming up is Walker. Brilliant pickup by the big man. Wheels around. Walker inside the centre square. Heads for home. How will it bounce? Truly. Oh no, it went at right angles. It's still a live ball. Knocked out of there eventually by Blake. Coming through was Clark, and it's out of bounds.
That's just an example of what Walker has, that great movement for a marking player, that ability to turn quickly. Didn't quite, the ball didn't want to work for him, didn't go straight, but just that ability to drop the defender off his back with that sharp turn.
Blake third man up. Thompson, good smother though. Across the body by Dal Santo. Thompson back to Schneider. These are important moments late in this first half. It's been a good half of footy, hasn't it?
I said at the start of the game, but whenever there's equal numbers, forward and back, you have a good game of footy. I mean, I know the coaches don't care about the fans, but if you can do away with the spare men in defence at both ends, because that wrecks the spectacle big time, mostly.
Jacobs, McAvoy, McKay, Montagna, good give. Hayes up to 14 disposals. Now Cozzy working. Oh, big fly coming from Shaw, but he had to keep it in front of him. Malera, tackled by Douglas, was okay. On the up to Riley. Riley went the wrong way, I reckon, and Dal Santo ripped it off him, and Schneider strolls in and kicks a goal. Just felt that he had to go the other way there, Riley, but this has been the Saints, Dennis. I mean, they have made them. I say they've made the most of the opportunities. They've actually missed a few shots, haven't they? But they have scored a lot of goals from one inside 50 type of thing.
They're hanging around, Bruce, and while you hang around, you're a chance, aren't you?
Well, we say they're a good side. We enjoy watching good sides hang around. They don't get blown off the park.
This handball inside is the one that we see. This one here. As soon as he hand passed back inside under pressure, the St Kilda swarm just ran onto it, and sometimes just got to turn their ball outside under pressure on the half-back line. Thompson
has been terrific inside that centre square. Douglas to McKay. Goes down towards half forward. There's our man, goes with the right boot. Ambidextrous. He sends it long down towards full forward. Big pack off hands. Callanan's kick just landing in an awkward situation, really, for the forwards and making it easy for the defenders. So in this term, Adelaide 5-2, St Kilda 4-6.
What an advantage for Callanan. He turns left to right without even a second thought. I'm not quite sure what's his natural kicking foot. He just kicks so naturally both sides.
Sipos close to the boundary. Gilbert needed to mark it. He's going to get a free kick. Bit fortunate. Gilbert.
No contact, mate.
Umpire much closer than we are. He's called it as contact, so they don't imagine those things. Gilbert plays on, drives it beyond the wing. Kaczynski, well played by Rutten. Just disposed of him. Bullied him out of the contest, and Shaw took the mark.
Kicks to Sloan. It's not a great kick. Set Sloan up a bit. Well done by Gilbert. And that's high, I think.
Adelaide.
So Douglas, in his 100th game tonight. It's going to go long. And tip at the target as always. Almost. Callanan roving again. Clark did well, very well. Malera's been busy in this quarter. Back he goes to Armitage, to Montagna. And Montagna goes back to Armitage. They've run it out well. Malera at half-back. Neat kick. Stephen to run hard. Revolts on the lead. He decides to go centre half forward. It's a good one. Now, Stevie Milne likes this position and goes with a long, long, long one and not getting the bounce. And a behind.
4-7, Bruce.
Just no one can complain about stodgy play tonight. Both sides are just bouncing the ball from end to end.
We've seen some inaccurate kicking in quarters of late. Think of Carlton, you know, on the Friday night a week and a bit ago, and tonight some chances for the Saints.
Yeah. Energy sapping footy, isn't it? End to end. The players really run. It's not like you're kicking necessarily like in the old days. The players in set positions. The blokes are actually in moving positions. Up and back. Here's Dangerfield who's moving. Thompson. Dangerfield gets through, goes down towards half forward. Tracking it is Walker towards the pocket. Tracking him is Gilbert. Arriving quickly, Petrenko gave it to Walker, goes with the outside of the boot and kicks a goal. What a beauty, his second. Oh, Petrenko was wonderful. Knows no other way, just hit that back and gave it across. Gilbert takes a while to get up.
Well, all's well and ends well. I thought that when the ball went to ground and he had a bit of time and space, Walker, and he just had to knock it out to Petrenko here, but for some reason I think he was trying to play the ball and get himself. Petrenko, though, 2-on-1. Now it just became that banana kick off the outside of the right foot.
Lee, what about Dangerfield's running power through the centre?
And the strength. That's the power and the speed, isn't it? The body strength and the speed. Irresistible combination he's got, Dangerfield. He's really coming through as a weapon in the game.
So, Lee, 5 goals to Walker and Tippett between them, and none to Revolt and Kozuchki before half-time. But the Saints still in this match. But Adelaide at times have been irresistible tonight. They've been the prettier team. Del Santo had it smothered. Sloan, right. Stephen working hard. Schneider, up and about Schneider. He's such a thinking player. High IQ, Schneider. And that's a big, big result against Riley.
Del Santo a bit sore in the middle of the ground as well. Got a knock in that last centre bounce.
Last Brent to come back on the mark. He's 3 metres over the mark. Brent, it's the same. Brent, it's the same way. It's the same way we instruct everyone. Brent, time back on.
So Riley unhappy, but all that'll get you is another 50-metre penalty, unfortunately for him. But Schneider straight in front, and he's kicked 2 goals in the second term, and the Saints stay close enough. Gee, that's a big goal, isn't it? So late in this half.
Yeah, it's a bit. The 50-metre penalty is always. I mean, the penalty. Remember, again, we talk about the old days, 25 years ago, when they used to just throw you to the ground when it was an old 15-metre penalty. So that was where Del Santo hurt his knee. But when slightly over the mark, there's always a big penalty. The 50 metres, normally a shot at goal.
So less than 30 seconds to half-time, Lee, and St Kilda, as we've said throughout, have been very gutsy. Just hanging in. Rucks go at it. Jacobs has a wonderful understanding with Thompson, although Del Santo interrupted that understanding. Thompson comes again. Off the ground, Porplecia. Back come the Crows inside the forward 50. Off hands. All Crows swarm on the ball. There's carnage behind. It comes to Wright, and Wright misses. Bodies everywhere. Back at about centre half forward. Blake will be the last one up, but wouldn't surprise if 1 or 2 others went down again. Walker barely able to walk.
He's in trouble, and so is Blake.
I think.
Gee. They're a couple of powerful forwards, aren't they?
Blake
Walker
actually got
yeah.
the ball in the face, I think, off the spoil.
Just that body strength of the 2 Adelaide forwards.
Yeah, they're big men. Well, certainly Tippett's got the height and reach, but he's a good mover, Walker. He just got such good sideways movement for the key position player.
I don't think people realise, Lee, just how hard those bodies are of players at this level. I mean, it's
built up with weights. They're hard.
like running into a suitcase full of wrought iron, isn't it? And they get up and they go again. There's the siren. It's half-time. We're liking this one. Don't write off the Saints just yet. Adelaide, they've played some wonderful football. Half-time on a Friday night in Adelaide. And the Crows are 11-6 and the Saints are 8-8. Just waiting to see if we can perhaps talk with Patrick Dangerfield as he leaves the ground. Tim is getting close. Closer than most Saints have got tonight. Here's Tim. You right, Tim?
Paddy, it's been a very open first half of football. Is that the way you wanted to play it today?
Not really. They've got a few easy scores over the back and really cut through us when kicking out. So it's something that we need to look at certainly in half time.
Great efforts up forward by Paul Pleasure and also Cullinan.
Yeah, it is, and that's the key with our small forwards when we get it in there to really to lock it in there and try and spend as much of the time in our forward 50.
It looked like you've got a real advantage with the height in the forward line though too.
Yeah, with Big Tippett and Tex and Josh Jenkins when he's down there, if we can get it to a one-on-one, it'll go a long way to us winning the game.
Well done, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Tim.